A small and mighty list is much better than a super large list of non-responsive people. So it's not necessarily about the size of your list, it's about the quality of your list.
Welcome to Thrive by Design, the podcast for ambitious, independent jewelry brands looking to profit from their products. Get ready to make more and sell more doing what you love without spending every single waking minute doing it. Hey, and if you're a creative, fashion, or product-based business, I want to welcome you to the show. I'll be dropping big tips on launching, growing, and scaling your business so you can spend more of your precious time using your creativity to make money. You ready? All right, let's do this.
Welcome to our Best of series with Thrive by Design. Hey there, it's Tracy Matthews, the host of your Thrive by Design podcast. And I'm calling it your Thrive by Design podcast because this is all about you, my friend. Anyway, I'm really excited because I'm doing a couple of bringing back some oldies but goodies. And I realized that some of the episodes that I recorded several years ago have gotten so many downloads and they become so popular. And there are evergreen topics that we're always working on. And so I'm very excited to present for you, I should say, Best of series today. It was episode 87, How to Build an Email List for Your Jewelry E-commerce Business. And this episode is all about something that I don't think most designers in the jewelry industry do enough. And that is build their email list. And we are in a couple of weeks into our Train Your Customers to Buy From You Online series. And just about the time this podcast airs, we're going to be working on email list building and talking about different types of lead magnets and things that you can do to get people on your email list. Because the fact of the matter is that last week we talked about, repurposed the episode about traffic, and everyone's thinking it's about getting enough traffic to your website. And sure, if you have a big ad budget and you can throw thousands of dollars at ads and wait 90 days or longer to get money back from those ads, sure, that's a great thing, is just pump a bunch of money into ads and get traffic to your website. But most people who land on your website for the first time who don't know you, aka cold leads, need a reason to opt in. They need a reason to stay in touch because they're likely not going to be your customer right away unless they know who you are and you've warmed them up for a while. And so one of the best ways to do that, because we know that we don't own customers on social media platforms, we don't own them in other places, is to build an email list. And your email list can consist of people who have already bought products from you. Maybe you met them at live event show. There's a way and strategies that you can build your email list from Etsy conversations or Etsy sales if you're strategic about it. But also you can build your email list with lead magnets and lead generation tools that are going to help you get people onto your list. And if you're ninja, you're doing the right thing and you have autoresponder sequences on the back end of those opt-ins that actually sell for you. And so someone's not ready to buy today, you send them several emails that are automated, and those emails do the work for you because you're building know, like, and trust, and you're actually getting them to buy. So I can't express the importance of building an email list more than anything. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that brands and designers make is that they don't focus enough on this strategy. And while it's much harder to build an email list, I'm going to be honest with you, if you have a product-based company, because someone either likes your products or they don't. And a lot of times, if I'm shopping online, let's say for a company called, I love these sportswear companies like Bandier or Carbon 38. A lot of times I would opt into their email list because they're offering a discount. But it makes sense because the stuff that I'm seeing in their ads makes me want to buy. But for a niche brand and someone without thousands of dollars worth of budget every single month to spend on ads, there needs to be another reason. And so it starts with creating a community. It starts with giving some sort of offer. And then it ends up with you doing the work on the back end through technology, which is what we use an email CRM for. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about some things. Things have changed in the past. And so I might be talking about a platform called MailChimp. And if you're on the Shopify, if you're using Shopify for your website platform, it's really important that you think about the email CRM that you're going to use, because back in the day, we always recommended MailChimp. This podcast was originally recorded about 2 years ago, but the practices that I talk about are tried and true, so they're not outdated. However, since then, the MailChimp and Shopify integration has not worked so well. So we're recommending Klaviyo, and then as an alternative, Omnisend, Most of the designers in our SOS coaching program have transitioned over to Klaviyo. And the one thing that they say that they absolutely love about it is the functionality. And it's actually increasing their sales because of all the options and things that you can do. MailChimp, the reason why we recommended it for so long was because it was inexpensive to get into, but it doesn't have the advanced tagging technology that something like Klaviyo has. And so I'll have a link for Klaviyo and our Shopify free trial in the show notes if you're interested. But, I was really surprised because one of our designers, Wendy Hively, who's in our SOS coaching program, she's been a member of the Flourish and Thrive community for a long time. She was like, I was really dreading moving on over to a new CRM, but I really love everything that I'm learning in SOS has really allowed me to use a platform like Klaviyo and increase my sales every single month. So it totally works if you use it the right way. And with that being said, I'd love to invite you because holiday season is coming right around the corner. And I'd love to invite you to really get dialed in with your holiday sales. And I know that you're a busy business owner, and a lot of times it's really hard to step away from your business. And, I got to ask you, if it were true that only working hard was the answer and the solution to having a successful business, that all of us that were working really hard would be successful. But the truth is that a lot of times working hard isn't necessarily the reason why someone's successful. It's working strategically that is the reason for people being successful. And that requires you to be working on your business and stepping away for moments at a time to be able to develop strategy that's going to help you make more sales. You need to be focused on goals so that you know what you're going for, right? And you also need to be focused on your marketing. And if you're not doing that, you're always going to be in the space of being reactive. And I've talked to so many designers. Some of them finally get it and they're able to pull themselves out. But the ones who are running around on a hamster wheel all the time, spinning their wheels and not really making progress, in particular with their e-commerce strategy, the number one reason why this happens is because they won't step away enough to test the things that work, to try different strategies for their business. And they keep doing the same things over and over again because they're afraid that if they stop, that they'll basically dry up their sales and they won't have sales coming in. But also in my opinion, it's instead of them looking at long-term of where they're going long-term, they are looking at what's right in front of them, like what's happening next. And trust me, this is something that I deal with on a monthly and daily basis in all of my business, because as a business owner, we're working on short-term and long-term strategy in tandem because we need the sales coming in. Sales are the lifeblood of a business. Cash flow is the lifeblood of a business. And we need that. But we also need to be focused on where we're going. And if we can't pull ourselves away enough, and I'm using the word "are" because I'm in the same boat with you too, guys. So remember that the more you are unable to really focus on where it is that you're going, and the more you're just reacting to what's happening now, the more you will stay stuck as to where you are. And I really feel like now is the time for those who are smart to be focused on their digital marketing strategy, their e-commerce strategy, their online conversion strategy, and to really focus on building their email list. I don't know if you've noticed, but once again, and I'm looking back at all the podcast episodes, I've had so many episodes about Instagram algorithm changes, and the algorithm has changed again. And so many designers who have not been email marketing and not been building their list, who've been focused on an Instagram strategy, their sales are struggling now because you have to get those people off the social media platforms, because Instagram and Facebook, they are pay to play platforms and they make money through ads. And so they're going to want you to spend money to get your posts seen. And so email list building is free. I mean, you might spend some money to get people on your list, but at the end of the day, if you're doing this strategically and consistently, it will be easy for all of you, especially those of you doing shows, to get at a minimum 100 people a month on your email list. And that's pretty good. Consider if you're getting, 10% of those people to buy from you over time because you're training them to buy from you online. That would be pretty epic, right? If you had, by the end of 1 year of just doing that, getting 100 people on your list, you'd have 1,000 people. By the end of 2 years, 2,000, and so on and so forth. And I feel like there's so many things that you can do to inspire community to build your list around your brand. So before I dive into today's episode, I'd love to help you with your email marketing strategy and your list building strategy and all those things that are going to really make a huge impact in your business and your conversions and sales online. And so if you'd like help to get this rolling for the holidays, I'd love to invite you to apply to our SOS coaching program. You can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/SOS now. It's basically a one-on-one hybrid group coaching program. So you get one-on-one calls every month with our team of coaches who are experts in their industries, everything from website conversion, design conversion, email marketing strategy, copywriting, technology, like all the things, like imagine like everything that you need to do to level up a digital marketing strategy. That is exactly what we're doing over in this program. It is designed around a core path. So everyone's moving through the same core path. Some move at a different rate than others based on where they are in business and how much how quickly they move. And so this program is really designed to be a 3-year program with a 1-year commitment, all around elevating your online sales and like getting your e-commerce to the next level. That's what it's all about. Because it's my opinion that when we see things changing in the economy, or you have a bad show, or the wholesale stores start closing down, or their opens to buy is closed, or they're switching over to consignment, selling direct to consumer is the most leveraged way, using your website as a tool to give you your time back, to give you more financial freedom, and to increase your profitability and the bottom line of your business. And that's what we're all going for, right? So if you'd like to hear more, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/SOS now. And we'll also have a link in the show notes so that you can elevate your brand. And if you're interested in Klaviyo and or Shopify, we have some special deals going on with them. So head on over to the show notes to grab those links as well. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Hey there, I'm Tracy Matthews, the Chief Visionary Officer over at Flourish and Thrive Academy. And today you are all in for a treat. I'm super excited to be talking about some strategies to build your email list, especially for jewelry e-commerce brands, because this is something that I know stumps a lot of people. You get really caught up on building your email list. You're not sure how to do it, but I'm here to tell you and give you about 27, maybe some more will pop up in the meantime too, ideas of how you can build your email list consistently and keep it going. Growing your email list and actually emailing your people is one of the key components into creating successful promotions and really continual sales in an e-commerce brand. So this kind of ties into our monthly theme of like promotions this whole month of April. I wanted to do like a spring refresh to get us back in our marketing mode so that we're focused on actually building sales and setting up successful promotions. And a lot of that starts with email list building and nurturing your current list, which we'll be talking about in another episode. So with that being said, we know that a strong email list and a strong following is really the key to having successful promotions in your jewelry business. All right. And I also don't want to leave you hanging. So I've created a really great resource download that goes with this episode. And it's our email list building checklist. So you can grab that over at the show notes as well. It's just 27 ways to build your email list. I'll have some extra notes on there as well. And I like to make these handy dandy guides so that you can just grab them and use them for reference later on. It makes it really easy for you to think about ways to grow your email list. So hopefully you'll check that out over at the show notes. Remember, you can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/episode 87. And the cool thing about the show notes today is over the years, I've written a lot of content about building your email list, growing your following, and making sure that you have your website set up for conversion so that people are either getting on your email list or moving through the process of the sale. And so I've linked some of the blog posts and vlogs that I've done in the past on these show notes as well, so you can check them out. I'll be mentioning them probably throughout the episode, so don't you worry. I am very, very excited to dive right in. All right, let's talk about 27 email list building ideas for your e-commerce jewelry website. Let's dive in and get this going. I'm super excited. So first and foremost, I wanted to talk about the importance of building an email list. Now, I know a lot of you think, oh, well, I have a huge social media following, but not that many people on my email list, or I'm focused on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest. Well, all those things are great. And you need to continue doing that because that really helps you gain exposure and build your brand. But the problem with only focusing on social media and external things that you don't have control over is just that you don't have control over it. So what happens if you post something on your Instagram that you didn't know unknowingly to yourself, is against Instagram's terms of service or Pinterest's terms of service, and you get banned from the platform. And then all of a sudden you lose the following that you've taken so long to create. So I think it's really important that you think through this and think about focusing on building your email list, because that's really where the gold is. Now, you've heard this before, that the money's in the list, and that sounds so cheesy, but it kind of is. Over time, those are the people who are really your dedicated followers. And you only want people who are super dedicated. So a small and mighty list is much better than a super large list of non-responsive people. So it's not necessarily about the size of your list. Remember this, it's about the quality of your list. And we're working towards building some quality leads. So let's talk about how to do that. First things first, you need to make sure that you have opt-in forms all over your website. So you want to make sure that they're placed. I created a great blog post about this a couple years ago. I'm going to link it in the show notes and you can check it out. It tells you, kind of walks you through different strategic placements that you can place your opt-in on your website. But we're going to talk about some of those right now as well. So don't you delay, but it's nice to have sort of an aggregate of content so you can see a bunch of things. So let's dive into some of these placements, which leads us to number 2. You want to have your opt-in above the fold on your website. And for those of you who don't know what the fold is, when you land on a website, the fold is all the content that you see immediately when you land on a site. So you want to have some sort of opt-in that's above the fold so people see it right when they get there. If you have difficulty doing this because of the template or website platform that you're in, we'll give you some other options later, which we're going to talk about. And this kind of leads us into the next, or the third way to build your email list, is to have pop-ups at the entrance, exit, or on the sidebar. So you can do this in addition to just having opt-in above the fold, but you can also add a pop-up that opens up right when someone lands to your site. Most people think that's pretty annoying to have it open up right when you land on a site. So I would probably discourage you to do that. And I know that Google Mobile, or on mobile, Google is penalizing sites that force pop-ups and you can't get out of them. So you might want to have a time-delayed pop-up, which it shows up 15 to 30 seconds after someone lands. So it's not right when they get there and in their face, encouraging them to sort of move away from your site. It comes up later. You can also put your pop-up on exit, and you can also have one that sort of slides in on the side when you have different things going in. So you can time these pop-ups. It doesn't have to just land as soon as you land on your site. So you also want to make sure, which leads us into number 4, to have an opt-in at the bottom of all of your blog posts. Now, I've talked many times about how important blogging is, but you can have an opt-in at the bottom of your blog post. There are some other things that you can do with your blog posts as well, including content upgrades, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit later. But you can have just sign up for my insider list or join the VIP program, whatever it is, whatever your opt-in offer is, you can have it at the bottom of your blog post, which is great. And just a little sidebar, and I'll mention this again later, but you want to make sure that you're offering different sorts of opt-ins or different ways that people can opt into your list. So some of you might have a discount in one place. You might have some sort of content upgrade in another place. You might have a just sign up for the list some other place. And you can test all these different options. I have an email opt-in idea vlog post that I did a couple years ago, which will also be linked in the show notes. So don't worry, I'm going to give you lots of ideas for things you can use for opt-ins. We're just talking about list building here. So ways to build your list. So you want to make sure that you have a variety of types of opt-ins, but that you're also keeping them all at the bottom. You're making sure that you have them at the bottom of every blog post that you have. You can also, number 5 is to have a header on the top of your site. So there is a plugin that used to be around called Hello Bar, but there's different things that you can do. It's just a really thin, skinny bar at the top of your site. You can even have it in one of the corners. I hate the words or the call to action button, join my newsletter. I think that's a bad idea, but you could do something else like become a VIP or something like that. Or think of something outside of the box that is fun to your brand. We're going to talk about fun call to action buttons momentarily. You can put your opt-in at the header of your site. You can also create landing pages specifically for a content upgrade or your opt-in or an offer. So a landing page is basically a standalone page on your site. You can easily build these in platforms like Lead Pages or ClickFunnels, which are great. They're great. Those are great to integrate with e-commerce sites when you start to get into more advanced digital marketing strategy. But you can use a separate landing page where it's basically just all about your offer and your brand, so it's not distracting. And landing pages technically, or squeeze pages or whatever you want to call them, technically have higher conversion rates because it's the only thing that people are looking at. So you can use that landing page to get people to opt into your offer, to get people to opt into some sort of special that you're having, to sell products. And you can use landing pages in a bunch of different ways, but in the end, you always want to use it also to collect email addresses. You can also place, number 7 is to place your email opt-in on your contact form. So a lot of people go to your contact page because they want more information or they want to get in touch with you. That's a great place to include an email opt-in form. Awesome. So another place that you can post this is also on your About page. The About page is number 8. So probably the main call to action that you want on your About page is actually driving people to actually buy your product. So that would be the main CTA, but there are ways that you can weave it into the text of your contact page. Like say, yes, in my VIP insider program, or grab my free download in the end of the text of your About page. And you can link that and send that to a landing page or an opt-in form on your website so that people can actually sign up from your About page. So you can be a little strategic about this. It doesn't have to just be forms everywhere. There's ways that you can link text on your website to get people to opt in as well. And then with all these opt-ins, you want to create some sort of incentive to sign up. Now, I did a whole post about this. I mentioned it before, and I'll have it linked in the show notes. Don't you worry. But it's basically, you need to have some sort of opt-in offer or incentive for people to sign up. So you can offer discounts. That's not my favorite, but a lot of people do it. Free shipping, different promotions, VIP access, some sort of style guide or resource that is useful to your dream client. So there's a lot of different things you're going to do. I'm not going to totally get into that today, but make sure that you check out the show notes because I have a great vlog linked there too to give you ideas on what you can do for your opt-in offers. And just to sort of round this out, you want to have opt-ins on at least 5 pages of your website. That's really, really important because having multiple options for people to actually sign up is going to significantly increase your probability and possibility for getting those signups. So number 10 is all about holding a monthly drawing. So you can hold a monthly drawing or a contest, something to give away free jewelry. Now, this might not get you the best subscribers, but it might get you volume. So if you're thinking about getting, just really building the list and kind of going for it, holding a monthly drawing is a great way to do this. You could post this all over social media and use this sort of leverage and build your email list. Number 11 is a refer a friend program for incentives or rewards. So for every referral, you can give your previous customers, your friends, and your family maybe 5 points towards a purchase. So refer a friend programs are a great way to build your email list to create incentive for people who already love your jewelry and want to spread the word about your brand. Let's see. Number 12 is to have contests and giveaways on Facebook. So you can host a Facebook contest or a Facebook giveaway, similar to a monthly drawing, but a little bit different because it's really like more that contest energy. People are competing for something. Maybe you give them some sort of call to action of something they have to do, not just enter into the contest. They have to do something in order to win the contest. So that could be a fun way to do that. And number 13, you can also do contests and giveaways on Instagram. Now, Instagram has different kinds of rules, so you want to make sure that you're following that, but that's a great way to build your email list is to also have contests and giveaways on Instagram. And number 14 is to drive traffic from Pinterest to a content upgrade on a blog post. So you can also drive traffic from Pinterest to a landing page, but if you want to promote this on Pinterest, you probably want to drive it to a blog post so that they actually are sending more traffic. There's rules with Pinterest advertising about this, so you want to make sure that you're following the rules. But the way that we found the best way to do it is to drive traffic to a blog post with a content upgrade. Now, a content upgrade is basically just something people can download in exchange for their email address that gives them information about a certain product. So for instance, let's say you had a blog post, 5 ways to naturally clean your jewelry without any acids or chemical products or something like that. I'm just making this up as we go. You could create a pin that says 5 ways to naturally clean your jewelry without any chemicals, link that to a blog post, write a blog post about how to do that, and then give people that resource sort of in a PDF content upgrade download that they can just download from that blog post. And that is a way to build your email list. So simple, easy peasy, right? And you can even promote that. That should really be like an extra one. I should say 28 ways because you can also use Pinterest ads to drive traffic to that. So speaking of content upgrades, it comes number 15, which is the content upgrade or a download on your site. So I want to go a little bit more in depth in this. You can put these on your blog. You can create a landing page just with the content upgrade. You can use pop-ups for content upgrades on entry and exit to your site. You can do a pop-up slider, a timed pop-up. There's lots of different ways that you can sort of leverage content on your site through landing pages and your blog and social media to get people to sign up for your email list. So those downloads are really powerful when you have them. Number 16 is to SEO blog posts. And remember, you have that email opt-in on your blog post. So if you SEO blog posts and you give them a reason to opt in and you start getting traffic from that SEO, that's a great way to build your email list. I've talked about this a lot. I get a lot of traffic on my website from a blog post that I wrote a couple years ago about rose-cut diamond engagement rings. So think outside of the box and what's relevant for your brand, because there's a lot of different things that you can do. All right. So number 17 is to use fun call to action buttons. Now, I say this because a lot of you have things like sign up for my newsletter or join my list or sign up or enroll or something like that. And oftentimes people are tired of that. They don't want to feel like they're signing up for something. But if you make it fun, like let's say you had, like a really fun resource, you could have a call to action button where they click to download that says, let's do this, or yes, I'm in, or get VIP status. It could be directly related to whatever it is that you're delivering. So think of a fun call to action button that you can actually include instead of just sign up or get the download, which is kind of boring. Number 18, which is one of my favorites and something that I've been talking about a lot lately, are quizzes and self-assessments or surveys. So setting up quizzes for your audience, self-assessments, or giving them surveys. People love to find out more about themselves. So you could have a fun quiz like, what's your jewelry personality type? Or what's your jewelry style guide? Or something along the lines of like, someone gave me this idea a long time ago, but what does your jewelry say about your Sex and the City avatar? Or something like that, like which Sex and the City avatar are you? So think outside of the box and think of fun things that you could do to potentially use a quiz or assessment to build your email list and create fun and engagement around your brand. There's lots to do. Number 19, you can use ads to drive traffic to a landing page. So you can use Facebook ads, you can use Google AdWords, different types of ads to drive traffic to a landing page that allows you to get people to opt in, sign up for your newsletter list, and actually sends them through a funnel to buy, which is a full digital marketing thing, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Let's see, number 20 is to offer a discount. Now, this is not my favorite, but you can offer discounts to get people to sign up for your email list. And you can also include it in discounts to do something like free shipping. I'm going to add that here so we can do discounts and free shipping. You can hear me typing here. I'm going to add it to my checklist right here as we go. So discounts and free shipping are a great way to get people to sign up for your list. I don't personally like it as much if it's cold traffic because discount or free shipping for someone who's not ready to buy isn't necessarily a good incentive because they don't always want to sign up. But for existing customers, that's a great way to get people to actually opt in to your email list. Now, one of my favorite ways is number 21, which is grassroots. So get your friends and family to sign up for your email list and get them to share what you're doing with their friends and family, because that's a great way, sort of this grassroots marketing to build your email list. Now, I know a lot of you kind of poo-poo this, but don't knock your friends and family. They're a huge resource. And if you have a huge family like mine, it can be an invaluable resource over time. You can collect email addresses in person or at all those shows that you've been doing. Make sure that you have a sign up for my email list form or offer them something great. You can do an offline to online sort of content upgrade. Send them a free PDF for signing up for your list. Send them a jewelry care cleaning guide for signing up for your list. Get them to opt in for your jewelry care cleaning guide at a show. There's a lot of things that you can do. Make sure that you're collecting email addresses from those people who purchase, but also give the people who don't purchase a reason to sign up. Let's see. Number 23, you can use retargeting email or ads to people who actually landed on your site or who are already on your email list. This is a great way to sort of build traffic to your site. It's not necessarily a list building thing if they're already on your email list, but you can retarget people who landed on your site at one point or another. And this is a great way to get traffic back to your site and to encourage people to sign up for your email list because you can retarget maybe even your email opt-in, which is a great idea. Number 24, have a newsletter checkbox during checkout. Make sure that that's automatically checked and they actually have to opt out when they're signing out to sign up for your email newsletter list. So I know that whenever I buy stuff on big brand websites, that box is always checked. And if I don't want to get emails from them, I have to uncheck that box. So make sure you have that on checkout so that you can start building your list that way. Number 25 is to create a rewards program. So have a rewards program to get people to sign up. So give them rewards for signing up for your email list and then give them additional rewards for actually purchasing. Think about different ways that you can get people to sign up. Another great way to build your email list is to pre-sell a product. So let's say you're launching a new collection and you have some great pieces that you're going to launch maybe in the coming months. Well, you can pre-sell those products, use that as an opportunity to build your list. You can build a referral program on the back end of that where people can earn points to get, more items from your new collection, and then use that as a way to get people to refer their friends and families and build your list. So you can start to see how a lot of these things start to become interconnected, and you can weave them together in your digital marketing strategy. And then finally, number 27 is to put a link in your email address autoresponder. So if you have autoresponders on your email, you can definitely include it there. Or when you're emailing people, you can have a link to sign up for your email list at the bottom of your email in your signature. So remember, all these things are great ways to build your email list. And not all of these strategies are going to work for everyone. Now, I was going to talk a little bit more about leveraging your list, which I think is really important. So I'm going to touch on a few things here, but I feel like it deserves its own podcast episode. So I'm going to make sure that I talk more about that later. So you want to make sure that you're consistently emailing the people that are on your list at least once a month, but hopefully more, that you're doing drip autoresponder sequences to people who opt in your list. So if you give them a content upgrade or some sort of download, or if they're opting in, make sure you have at least 6 autoresponder emails or drip emails that are going out at specific periods of time after they opt in to nurture those people and walk them to the sale. So that is really, really important and a huge missed opportunity. Don't just have someone sign up for your email list and don't do anything next. Make sure that there is an opportunity for them to take the next step. You can also have subscribers only discounts. So this is a great way to continue to build your list. If they are on the list, they get access to special deals or offers. This is sort of like a VIP option as well. And then you can also create some sort of jewelry membership where you're allowing sort of existing clients or previous clients to get in on some special offer that you only allow to members to nurture those people to get them to continue buying. Because the purpose of building your email list is to actually email those people and to generate sales. So the best way to get people on your website is to actually do that through email list building, as I mentioned before. So I've done a lot of great resources on this. So I want to make sure that I mention this. Episode number 84, the number one way to get traffic to your website. Great resource to check out and re-listen to that episode or listen to it if you haven't listened to it yet. I will make sure that it's linked in the show notes. And we have a lot of great resources. So I mentioned that we have an entire blog post about where to place your email opt-ins. So make sure that you check that out. I also wrote a blog post about email list providers. So this is a great opportunity for you to check out some of the different e-commerce email list providers out there and choose a solution that's right for you. So there's a lot of different options out there, including Klaviyo and MailChimp and some of these others. So make sure you check that out. I'm going to link it in the show notes. You can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/episode 87 to check that out. And I also have a video blog about how opt-in ideas. So different things that you can use for content upgrades or opt-in ideas to get people actually to opt into your website. And it goes way beyond the discount. So that's a really fun episode. So make sure that you check that out as well. All right, you guys, lots of resources here. I feel like I almost did a roundup today, which is pretty cool. So make sure that you download the checklist that I created for this podcast. It's a really great email list building checklist, 27 ways to build your email list. Make sure you grab that. It's going to be super fun. You can grab that over at the show notes over at flourishthriveacademy.com/episode 87, or you can go straight to the link over to flourishthriveacademy.com/list building checklist. That's flourishthriveacademy.com/list building checklist.
Thank you so much for listening to the show today. It has been my honor. I hope you got away some really great tidbits. And I just want to remind you that if you haven't done so yet, I would love to hear what you think about the show. So head on over to Apple Podcasts and give us a little rating and review and tell us what you think. I love this review by Nikki Zaz. Nikki Zazali, we love you. Thanks for putting your real name in here so I knew who it was. She gave us a 5-star review. She said, Tracy is the best. She said, this will change your life and your business and your life. Tracy is the best jewelry business coach ever. Thank you, Nikki. She always has amazing insight and techniques to share to take your business to the next level. When I found this podcast, I was just starting my company and desperately needed help. Because of this podcast, my business is now flourishing. Every episode is full of so much information that you can use. And I sometimes listen multiple times to each episode to make sure that I got it all. So if you want to take your business to the next level, this podcast is for you. Well, Nikki, thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate your kind words because we love you, girl.
Anyway, if you have something that you'd like to share how this podcast has changed your business, I'd love to hear from it. So head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/Apple, and you can rate and review the podcast right on Apple Podcasts. Thanks so much for listening. Have an awesome day, and I look forward to coming back real soon with another Best Of.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. It's my mission to help thousands of creative businesses inside and outside the jewelry space use their creativity to make money. Make sure that you're subscribed to Thrive by Design on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever podcasts are played. And we'd love to hear what you think. Please rate and review the show. And if you're inspired, please share this with your friends. Cheers to seeing you flourish and thrive.